Dobrý večer. Ladies and gentlemen, milí přátelé. I don't know which language to introduce this in, protože to bude multilingvní večer. I'll probably resort to English, which I suppose everybody understands. You're very welcome on behalf of the Center for Irish Studies. You wouldn't believe how glad we are that we can do this live. Some of you would be aware that last year we sort of did a dry run on Zoom, which was not particularly pleasant for us or for audiences, but we did our best. As regards to the general context, this happens to be a St. Patrick's Day celebration of sorts. We did one in June when COVID started, so we have practice of rescheduling. This was essentially the first safe or reasonably safe date when we could do this and bring Lillis Ó Laoire over. So that's really where we'll start with this evening. There'll be a few readings, then we'll take a short break so that you can get a refill of your beers or whatever it is you prefer, and then the second part of the evening will be Connemara Chaos, and we need to be out by 10. Okay. On an official note, also, I would really like to extend immense gratitude, as usual, to the Department of Foreign Affairs and to the Embassy of Ireland for supporting Irish studies in this country, not just our centre, but pretty much everybody who's involved, and that really makes things happen, and we can bring such fantastic guest speakers over. So thank you very much to those. And now, without further ado, you'll be glad to hear I shall vanish and will not disrupt the performance in any way from now on. It is my great pleasure to introduce Lillis Ó Laoire. From Galway, or I should say from Donegal. Lillis is going to give a lecture on Thursday at the Faculty of Arts on Irish keening. He's an expert in modern Irish and modern Irish literature and Irish folklore, but he also happens to be a celebrated Sean-nós singer. So you're in for a treat. Lillis, welcome to Prague again.
Better not kick the double bass or there will be chaos. So, I'm really happy to be here with you all. We tried to do this in 2020 and we try to do it again for St. Patrick's Day, and this is it happening now. So I'm going to sing you a few songs from Donegal tonight, and maybe in honour of our door person, Petra, I might try and even sing a Scottish Gaelic song, because I know that Petra is an expert in Scottish Gaelic, something I only learned when I arrived. So with any luck, I hope to sing one of those. So since we are doing a St. Patrick's Day celebration, I'm going to start with a song called Teacht na Féile Pádraig, or The Coming of St. Patrick's Day. It's a love song, and it's referring to the fact that there was kind of a holiday from Lent in the middle of St. Patrick's Day was a kind of a holiday from Lent. You could take the day off. You could stop fasting, and if you were off the drink, which many people were, you could have a drink that day to wet the shamrock. So this guy, he was, I think, expecting to get married on St. Patrick's Day, and she left him for somebody else. So this is his lament, and for the girl. And in the last line he says, I hope whoever you've left me for I hope his funeral will be going along this road in less than a year. He wasn't a very good loser. So, Teacht na Féile Pádraig, be gom hen Bein y glynni clár Siad lan yma gydyn bel Na nacht lat y pol Mater den hyrstarig I man y lar y fil y gras ar wahyt o Tag y lior dan ymref o gymyn yng ngrelo her warig wyt mer Sy'n yntyn gysar la ffalig ffarf Ni hesyn damra Snach lach y wasydd I he Sgyfecym yn lam yn ffwani galarin Ta dyni rag yw'r graig ma warnin ar mhen Sterlog ma tas yn grair mystyd I he Gyrch amman I dra Neu las neu siachtyn I deg Golam ragus magalaf Gal harstin Ta ychter mochat strak talulam shis Sechedi chayudayet Garela shimachesetir Mosik ferel vishanan Magras vegen alai Gevekmen lame haru Galbacher shalskere nan blien Goodbye. So, I have a very good friend in Donegal, and he's one of the people who really sustains my interest and my learning, and we're always talking about songs when we get together. His name is Brian O'Donnell, or Brian O'Donnell, known locally in Donegal as Brian Danny Minnie, because Danny was his father and Minnie was his grandmother. And his father was known as Danny Minnie, and Brian is Brian Danny Minnie. They have a very nice restaurant in Annagry in County Donegal, so if any of you are ever going that way, if you call in, you'll get very well fed. And he might even sing you a song. He's also a very good flute player, and is at the moment making his own CD. One of his friends, a man called Lillis Ó Laoire, or Nelly Boyle, passed away there recently. And Nelly was a mine of song. He knew all the old songs, and he had lots of little ditties that his mother and neighbour people used to sing when he was young. And he was remembering these for Brian, and Brian put them together, 3 little songs. They're really nonsense songs, but just to show that our songs aren't all sort of sad, even though the saying says all their wars were merry and all their songs were sad. It's not quite true. So these are 3 little, what we call in Irish, ramas, kind of nonsense. And Brian put them together, and I'm going to try and sing them now. There's nothing to them, really. They're more or less dance songs in a way. They have sort of very nice dance music that goes with them. So the first one is Colt to Gal Roger Gammon to Colt to Gal Roger. Where are you going, you damned rogue? Where are you going, you black rogue? And then the answer is, I'm going to the summer fair, I'm going to get a girl, I'm going to the summer fair, I'm going to get a cow. Oh, don't be laughing, cows were very important in the old days. Dairy produce. The cow was the supermarket in those days. And then the next one, it's not related, but it kind of sounds as if it were Fangaji Mara, wait until tomorrow, wait until tomorrow, wait until tomorrow, and I'll be with you. Ni Alhama Josh, ni Isma Grim, I won't drink and I won't eat. A bemishe dausela bohul la gasserna sap. I'll be dancing with the boy of the sheaves. So that's that one. And then the third one is one that people used to sing if they were asked to do a party piece. And sometimes they didn't know anything. So this is a song that it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of song. So it's called Madun Cher Wine, the dog with the white teeth. So Madun Cher Wine Galana Lysa Luwai, the dog with the white teeth until daylight breaks, lying in the ashes. And that's really all there is to the song. But it's a kind of a smart answer to people who are being forced to sing or do something for a party piece. And they would do that, and then they would get off the hook, if you like. So, Sean-nós. Call to gal rocket gamont, call to gal rocket gif. Call to gal rocket gamont, call to gal rocket gif. Tamisha gal gehina tauri, tamisha gal yarimra, tamisha gal gehina tauri, tamisha gal yanna bo. Call to gal rocket gamont, call to gal rocket gif. Call to gal rocket gamont, call to gal rocket gif. Tamisha gal gehina tauri, tamisha gal yarimra, tamisha gal gehina tauri, tamisha gal yanna bo. Fangaji mara, spamisha latni, alma joshni, isma girma, bemisha dausla, gasserna sop, agus misha dausen, nonsenal, togan gas, gasserna sop, agus misha dausen, nonsenal, togan gas. Fangaji mara, spamisha latni, alma joshni, isma girma, bemisha dausla, gasserna sop, agus misha dausen, nonsenal, togan gas, gasserna sop, agus misha dausen, nonsenal, togan gas. Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Yagishe Yaruyek, the Wadun Harwan, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Yagishe Yaruyek, the Wadun Harwan, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui. There's 16 verses in this. Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Galana Lysalui, Madun Harwan Yagishe Haruyek, the Wadun Harwan. That's enough. I won't sing the 16. So, one of the great songs of Ireland is a song called Eileen Aroon or Eileen Aroon. And recently, another friend of mine, Paul O'Shaughnessy, he's sometimes a member of the band Alta. He's a great fiddle player. And he's been studying the songs of a woman called Anna Nickelowen. Anna Nickelowen was a woman who lived in the Bluestack Mountains in County Donegal, and she could not speak English, and she couldn't read or write, but she had a big store of stories and songs. And in the 1940s, Sean-nós, who was working as a full-time collector for the Irish Folklore Commission, spent 3 months collecting her stories and songs. And always he would say, well, she was like a well in a great summer drought. When you would leave her that day, you would think she was empty, that there was no more. And then the next day you would come back and the well was filled up again with fresh water. So she was an amazing woman. And the one thing about her was that she always wanted to give what she had to the collectors. Now, so she gave them 128 songs. And as a part of a project, Paul is editing the songs for publication. And he also got some money to get singers to sing the songs. And I was lucky enough to be one of those singers. And he gave us the songs and he said, choose the ones you like and come into the studio and sing them. So during the summer we did that different weekends, and it hasn't come out yet, but it'll be out soon, I hope. So this is a version of Eileen Aroon that Anna had. And this is an old song, goes back to the 17th century, and indeed some versions of it go back to the beginning of Irish literature and Irish song. So Eleanor was supposed to marry somebody else, but Carol came along, and Carol was a poet, and Carol was able to seduce her with song. So this is the song he sang to win her heart, and it's a question and answer kind of thing, and also you can feel the longing of the poet for the young lady. There are many stories about Carol, but I won't go into them tonight. But if you want to ask me afterwards, I'll tell you more about him. He was some boy, as they say in Ulster. So here goes, if I can remember it now. I'm not singing this very long, so this is kind of I suppose it's a public premiere anyway. It's a world premiere. Jakatuna wan to Eileen Aroon. Jakatuna wan to Eileen Aroon. Chakamashnian hemme, chakamashnian hemme. Chakamashnian hemme ramochrio. Well and finan the focus Eileen Aroon. Well and finan the focus Eileen Aroon. Tapinan finan ma faku ta ket gynjargam chalwirway Enjuk Hallin hen gaune Eileen Aroon Hallin hen gaune Eileen Aroon Hallin hen gaune Tarchiergetirauli Mar nos gemeni graunes Eileen Aroon Reischgenen in Eileen Aroon Reischgenen in Eileen Aroon Reischgenen in Getraskune felbride Mar nos gewin shinyo Eileen Aroon Dalin mavragel Eileen Aroon Dalin mavragel Eileen Aroon Dalin mavragel at maleniges machate Mar nos gemein postel Eileen Aroon Rahenjer salet Eileen Aroon Rahenjer salet Eileen Aroon Rahenjer salet na Franke na Spanje Mar nos gemein daltel Eileen Aroon Leihinjer labwil Eileen Aroon Leihinjer labwil Eileen Aroon Leihinjer labwil uachrelat Leihinjer labwil uachrelat Mar nos gewinje swerkes lat Eileen Aroon Thank you. I never know whether to sing all the verses or not because sometimes when you can't understand the words, it kind of gets a bit monotonous. But basically he's saying, I wish I was married to you. I would drink my shoes. The price of my shoes, I would drink my shirt. I would drink my shirt. I would drink my coat with you. I would lie on a bed of rushes with you to be able to enjoy you. So he had it bad. What's next now? Oh, yes. Well, a little song from the south of Donegal called a place called Chillon, a place famous for storytelling and for music, fiddle playing, and also song. And it's a short little song, but it caused a lot of trouble one night because the singers from that part were in the neighbouring townland across the bay in Kilcar, and somebody asked the main singer to sing this song, and he didn't know it. So that would have been a very embarrassing situation for him. He wouldn't give them the satisfaction to say he didn't know it. So he said, that's a terrible bad song you're asking me to sing. I'll sing it later on. So in the meantime, somebody else was singing, and he ran out, and he knew where he would get the words of the song. He had to run home over a mile, and he had to knock on the door of this woman. It was late at night, and he knocked the door, and she was a midwife, so she was used to getting calls at odd hours, and she thought that's what it was. But when he told her what it was, she said, well, there's very little trouble in you when all you're coming for is a song. But come in anyway, and I'll give you the song. And so she sat on one side of the fire, and he sat on the other, and she sang it through for him a few times, and then he had the song and away back to the session. And then the singing was continuing away, and nobody knew who had the upper hand. But as they were leaving in the morning anyway, the singer said, well, I was asked to sing this song earlier tonight and I didn't sing it, but in case you think I don't know it, I'm going to sing it now. So he did. And according to the people in Teelan, they were considered the best group that night. So he saved the day. So as I say, it's a very short song, but it has an interesting story. Struagan me here ganin ragad an shachten go goy chamal in do. Michigan va card dali das me va bun grof we har in you alisha Eileen Aroon. Na roin da unni allegan carry the free. Ta Calin be kisen shawl kai vai fishiki not in the cool shell matter ariki. Shil she hen go spalt by the fidiki a vermsen loud the trefer a pihiki Eileen Aroon. Na roin da unni allegan carry the free. Na de hikim san sliau bin kliau dan wonjarum sim se shis bin fortiges tarsharum shadur tangen de kiau gan stiel da ratgum strogen de yel bekier fiatgum Eileen Aroon. Na roin da unni allegan carry the free. Yes, another one of Anna Killuin's songs. One of the songs I found in her collection was a version of Lord Randall, or the child ballad in the English language. The child ballads are not about children, but they're edited by a man called Francis James Child, who was a professor of English in Harvard. And one of the songs is about a man who was poisoned by his wife. These songs are pretty gruesome and gory, a lot of them. So this is the one about she gave him a plate of eels for his dinner, and there was poison in the eel, and he ate the poison, and then he realized what she had done. So it's kind of question and answer form. What will you leave? It's basically a will. He's making his will. So the first verse is about, what did you get for your breakfast? And he said, I got an eel and was dressed with poison, and I'm dying now. What will you leave to your sister? And she says what he'd leave to his sister. He'd leave her £5 and his cattle, his herd of cattle, or some of them anyway. And then he asked what he'd leave to his brother, and he gave him the brother the horse and another £5. And what will he leave his child? And the child will get his house and his land and the key to his trunk. And then finally his wife. What will you leave your wife? And he says, I'll leave her nothing, but I hope she goes to hell. So not a very positive song, really. But those are the things that people write about or sing about. Better be singing about them than doing them. So I couldn't, there was no air with this song, so there are known airs to the song. There's a lovely air that a group called Scarabray sing from Waterford, and the wonderful singer Nell Ní Chrónin, who sings now with Dano, has another beautiful version of it, and the great Joe Heaney from Galway had another fine version of the song. But I decided I wasn't going to use any of those airs. I was going to make up my own air because I wanted it to sound like a true Donegal song, and I wasn't going to be borrowing from anywhere else. So here we are. I spent a while working on this. So again, I'm not singing this very long, so hopefully it'll go all right. Gede fuerto de breakfast og anin common. Gede fuerto de breakfast og anin. For masken rolloben tisnev getram brot her hi. Tamachin famochamban shnive mewatbio. Gedeakes tueg de yede fere okanin gomon. Gedeakes tueg de yede fere okanioi. Fwy cyma cwg fant y cys rend an y badan y cy. Ta ma chyn fam o chamban shnive me wad bio. Gedeakes tueg de yarhade o ganin y gomon. Gedeakes tueg de yarhade o ganioig. Fwy cyma cwg font y gys mwy yaran bredan y gy. Ta ma chyn fam a chamban shnive me wad bio. Gedeikes tueg de lanaban o ganin gomon. Gedeikes tueg de lanaban o ganioig. Fwy cyma ma hagus ma tigygus achyd ma chronc y gy. Ta ma chyn fam o chamban shni me wad bio. Gedeikes tueg de van faste o ganin gomon. Gedeikes tueg de van faste o ganioig. Niak ma pina bonniki a chefrun gun runniki. Ta ma chyn fam o chamban shnive me wad bio. One more song to finish. And, oh wait, I didn't sing the Scottish Gaelic one after promising that I would sing it. So we'll sing that one and then we'll sing one to finish, and that'll be that. You'll get a relief then from wall-to-wall singing. It's kind of not the way it's really supposed to be done, but that's the way we're doing it tonight. So this is a song, again, a love song, in Scottish Gaelic, and it has all the atmosphere of an island song, because the girl is speaking, her lover's gone, he's in the army of King George, and he's wearing the red coat, and he's gone and he's not coming back. And she's out on the headland every day, we're looking to see if the boat is coming, if he's in it, and it doesn't look like he's going to return. And it has a nice chorus. The Scottish Gaelic songs have lovely vocable choruses that in Scotland all the audience joins in with. And if it was a simpler chorus, I would get you to join in, but it's not so simple. So I'm not going to try that. So here it goes, a beautiful melody anyway. O coran oros cartalam hinus talam hinus tulam spoche blasne mjaller de fokken bimiget gejon reinu shalle O coran oros cartalam hinu Sate skerater falavo lang rijosle de got jaragorst Strich ma holen en rijke Viege fisk mi verde jalave O koren oros kartalem hinu Sate skurate mujus Kunisel oinach en guanelekju Geren graag lechele hoekshin Sagakat jij mi gejerach tullich Hokoren oros katalem hinu Stroog nach rami marien beketrem Maren no shek na maren leg Smigen her no kwanten Gusserken farel magelse Hokoren oros kartalem hinu Stalem hinu stulaum spoche Blasne mjaller de fokken bimiget gei an reinu shallig Hokoren oros kartalem hinu And the last one now, that was for Petra, who's down at the door somewhere. And this is the Clare Bogdale, the Bogdale Board. It's a song known all around Ireland in different versions. Very intense love song on the man's part again. And he wishes he was with her in Cashel in County Tipperary, the Rock of Cashel, and with no dowry, no nothing, just the hard board bed with no mattress even, just that would be enough to be with her. So here goes. And this is from Roishe Nanoran, Roishe Nikiriana from Arranmore Island. And she was here earlier because the melody that I used for Eileen Aroon was her melody as well. So I hope you enjoyed the songs, and I'm looking forward to hearing the poems now next and listening to the chaos from Connemara after the break. So go míle maithe. Agus gur maithe Andre agus ag Radavan as méhorst an seo agus rinn groí achtracha na héidir fásta to Andre and Radavan for bringing me here and to the Department of Foreign Affairs for supporting this event. O Señor, gan bogen panti gan fin spresh lakin fomo majindruchte la banun le ma aller shall Aroon shark michle Agashamons canalla bifonan ach clar bogdel Ben salastani wal mashnichanemmai Ben darachani lakut kajamaruri Nin body ni hantachet Marial erwin Ach pos me mostorin Shigram mochri Nashilegi kegerbui shall nachwasal me Nashilegi garansaji gati Afuaris me Shin shislam shall misges quarti me Yatosh grifan mahujesh Kerbuach elog me Tarabini moarni nerhulakin Tabelas pinikina nidels nan huacherkel Ta klarach de kievaloga hogergrin Stakom kalke kievalo en buacheliofen Right.